if you're sitting in this hot seat, you know you're then open to all sorts of hostile criticisms. Do you know, for instance, that a lot of television critics consider chat shows to be the lowest form of human life?
Really?
Well, The Guardian, for instance, last week said that the chat show is the aboriginal form of television life. It's the lowest in the category.
Well, I don't agree with that. I think talk, conversation, which unfortunately so many people, because of television, have lost the art of. I think to talk and argue, debate and have fiery discussions like they do on other shows, I think this is the essence of television. I think you can find out what makes people tick, you can find out what their views are, and the people at home feel part of it. It's as though those people were sitting in their drawing rooms. Do you agree with me? Yes.
Well, I can't quite claim that every chat show lineup lives up to the Diana Dors ideal of clever debate and fiery discussion, but then amongst the hordes there were always the special few who never failed to deliver good old-fashioned entertainment.
My bladder was bursting, and I was just about to disappear when we were marched into dinner, and I got this tight, stiff collar on and everything, and nobody speaking to me, and then soup, cold soup, came. More strain. So then I started taking to anything, all this wine, thinking that it would work as an anesthetic, you know, and take this dreadful pain away. And I was absolutely, it was dying. And finally, and no way you could say, please, sir, may I? No way. So I thought, well, my whole career is going to end in a pool underneath the mess silver and everything. And at that moment, the one friend I had did a genius thing, and the mess butler we had came over and he said, whispered my Mr. Trubshaw's compliment, sir. I put an empty magnum underneath your chair. Well, I mean, that's a difficult game. That's a very tricky business indeed. And I got it arranged, and nonchalantly was crumbling a biscuit with his hand. When this terrible colonel turned to me, this man had never spoken to me, and he said, I have pleasured women of every nationality and most animals. But the one thing I cannot stand is a girl with a Glasgow accent past the port. And he never spoke to me again in 3 years. Never spoke to me again ever.
I mean, after all, the essence of all true communication is a lack of inhibition, isn't it? That's the essence of it. If you're going to throw a party and everyone's going to get together, you've got to have what they call an icebreaker. Then people say, have a few drinks and a chat and all that, but I don't need it. You know, I've got it anyway. And I think that if you have a natural fluency, and I always have had, then, you know, without people and chat. I always go straight to people and chat. If I can't think of a line to say, I just say something from a popular song. You know, I say things like, I like New York in June. How about you?
I envy him because he travels a great deal. I think he's very clever. Very clever. You are very clever. You are a clever man, very clever. And he does all my stuff, which is very interesting because, well, you don't actually do it the way I do it. But, I mean, I watched you the other night on television, and how you do it is exactly the same, you know. He's obviously been studying me. True. It's just true.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you were on the other Monday night, so I turned the sound off. I really did. And he was going... Isn't that so?
Absolutely.
And just one last thing. I twisted my knee on Sunday night. I must say this to you. I did thank you because it was a gloomy Monday. It was cold, bitter out it was. And I was laying there with my foot up. And it was gloomy and I was feeling down. And then on comes Sir David. So I looked at this and I suddenly learned something. I got this... I thought, that's interesting. I never thought of that before. He was explaining why elephants can't jump. Oh, that's extraordinary. I've never wondered before. It never occurred to me why elephants can't jump. I thought this is a marvellous conversation because if you're in a train carriage and people don't know what to say to each other, or it's sitting beside somebody in a bus, and you think, what should I do? Oh, excuse me, do you know why elephants can't jump?
I can't recall now why elephants can't jump. I think it's something to do with having to keep one foot on the ground, like those bedroom scenes in early movies. Meantime, let's take a look at what can happen when you've had enough conversation and you decide to have a jolly old sing-song. And we've had a few of those. Say goodbye.
Yeah, that'll be the day when you make me cry. Well, you say you're gonna leave. You know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die. Hey, that'll be the day when we say goodbye. Yeah, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave. You know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die.
Oh, why do you wanna make those eyes at me for? If they don't mean what they say. They make me glad, they make me sad. They make me want a lot of things that I've never had. You're fooling around with me now. Oh, well, you lead me on and then you run away. Oh, well, that's all right. I'll get you alone some night, and baby, you'll find you're messing with dynamite. So why do you wanna make those eyes at me for? If they don't mean what they say.
I was wandering along by the bank of the river when 7 fat cows come on out of the Nile. And right up behind these a fine healthy animal come 7 other cows, and they were skinny and vile. Well, and the thing got in the button got with you, I thought I would do them good. But no, it didn't make them bad, like such a monster, for sure. Oh no.
I was known as a wild one by all the folks around. I was known as the wild one by all the folks around. Baby down, swollen high, folks were off by the other guys.
Yeah, they don't write them like that anymore. In fact, I don't think they ever did. England's own Jerry Lee Lewis, Oliver Orange Juice Reed, who features in a more stately form in this next section of Cheerful Reminiscence.
I remember I was walking along the street and a guy stopped me. He said, "You're here." So I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, you're Michael Caine, aren't you?" So I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, you're here." He said, you're right here. Look, you're here." So I said, "Well, I have to be somewhere, don't I?" So he said, "I never thought of that, yeah." and he just walked on.
And this bloke came up and stopped me and said, "Excuse me, are you Harry Enfield?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, blimey, mate. You do that Stavros, didn't you? I love him. He cracks me up, right? I can't do him, right? Hello, peeps. No, I can't do him, right? But he cracks me up, right? And that loads of money, geezer. I love him. I can do him and all. Loads of money. See, I can do him and all. But I saw you on Wogan the other day. You're a right prat in real life."
I bought some underpants in a well-known departmental store the other day, and it's surprising the amount of money one has to pay for them these days. He said, "Inflation has hit the crutch." No,
No, did that come off the top of your head? Have you been rehearsing?
No, that came off the top of my head. And if anything else comes off the top of my head, I should be born.
How did you find Keith Moon?
How did we find him?
Yeah, he found us.
He found us, yeah. Chemistry just gelled from then on, didn't it?
We, on the tour, we kept on feeling his presence. And there's this pigeon in the studio.
And you think this might
be... This could be shades of Keith Moon.
Well, he's got his back to us.
Yeah, he's got his back to us. Yeah, the jokes aren't good enough.
You've smashed up hotel rooms, you've shot somebody through the hand.
No, that was Keith Moon. God bless him.
You were nowhere to be seen at that time?
Oh, Moon, yeah, I made a film with him, yes. He was very strange, Keith. He was, one night he phoned me up and he used to, for some reason, fill his room full of Swedish models. And working with a crew, I'd never worked with a pop group before, but it's true about the ladies. And he phoned me up one night and he said, "All right, just get yourself down there." He was obviously had a pillow on his face. Either that or, according to Tony Curtis, a good actor. But anyway, I went round there and he said, yeah, give me your hand with this television set. So I got over and I got one end of the television, the ladies were over that side, and I got the television set, and you're holding a television set one side and somebody's holding it the other side. And he went over to the window and he threw it out of the window. And I went like that with him and it went boom! And the porter ran out to the hotel. And he looked up and he said, what are you doing? And Mooney says, answer the phone. He says, all the radio's coming next.
Hear it in the street, see it in the dragon beat. The word is getting out about control. Spies ain't come and gone. Story travels on. Only quiet place inside your soul. From tree to tree. From you to me, traveling twice as fast as on any freeway. Every single dream wrapped up in the scheme, they all get carried on a relay. Things are brewing, something's doing. There's a revolution. Every time a solution, yeah. Pass it on. Pass it on.
The Who performing 17 years apart. First on Hearty in 1973 with the late lamented Keith Moon, and then just a few years ago when they came onto my show after their last live tour. So, you've had your conversation, the occasional burst of music, and the odd bit of impromptu entertainment, and before you know it, the floor manager is making signs at you, meaning thank you. It's time to wrap up proceedings with that final question.
And in closing, if I may just ask you one final question, what advice would you give to any actor who in the future may play James Stewart in a movie?
I think just remember that the best way to learn how to act is to act as much as you can, and you learn by acting. You don't learn by sitting and having somebody lecture to you about that. You learn it by doing, and that I think that's the best way. And I wish all the people who want to be actors, I wish them all the luck of the world.
And if he was playing you, what extra piece of advice?
I would tell him to speed it up a little.
Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and think, in another 20 or 30 years, I'm going to be 50 or 60. What shall I be doing then? You don't?
Never think about it. I mean...
Doesn't haunt you?
What did someone said something with a very deep voice like Lord Tennyson?
It doesn't haunt you, that in the middle?
I don't think I'll live that long.
You don't?
No.
I know you don't have regrets, because that's not your style, but do you somehow wish that you had been reunited with Richard Burton?
I'm sure we will be one day.
To start on that great adventure, that's how they refer to life. The breeze said you would be my wife. Come on, let's shoot the breeze. Fairy tales upon the clouds, dreaming of white knights and dragons. In about a day or two, I'll be going on the wagon. It's not my girl or the kids you see. To tell the truth, it's a mystery why I'm so damned dissatisfied. The breeze said no one's there inside. Come on, let's shoot